सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। ओम नमो ब्रह्मादिभ्यो ब्रह्म विद्या संप्रदाय कर्तृभ्यो वंश ऋषिभ्यो नमो गुरुभ्यः। So we were looking at the 21st Vakya in the 5th Brahmana of the first chapter. So this particular section is talking about a vrata or a resolve or a vow, which is taken by all the different organs. So here the Upanishad says, like organ of speech, okay, it takes a vrata. Vadishyami eva aham, I will keep on talking. And then drakshyami aham iti chakshuhu, eyes, the organ of sight, takes a vow that I will keep on seeing. So like this, these organs are competing with each other. Spardhanta, they are quarreling or fighting with each other, competing with each other. Then what happened? Mrityuhu Shramaha Bhutva Upayeme. So this Mrityu, in the form of fatigue, tiredness, overtook these organs, all the organs which were doing their functions. They said that we will do our functions all the time. But they were not able to do it because Mrityu or death in the form of fatigue and tiredness overtook them and controlled them. Okay. Mrityuhu avarundha means he made them stop doing their function, whatever they were doing. Therefore, what all these organs, shramyati eva, they all become tired and they stop. Whatever they were doing, they had to stop. But amongst all these organs, one never stopped its function. What is that? Madhyamaha pranaha. So the prana, mukhya prana, which is called Madhyamaha prana here, because the prana is supposed to be there in the middle of your mouth, in fact. Even in the 3rd chapter only, the prana upasana there, it was mentioned like that. You have to go to the, not the 3rd chapter, 3rd Brahmana, 1-3 if you go. There the prana upasana is there. So there the prana is located in the cavity on the upper side of your mouth, like that it is said. So this Madhyamaha pranaha, prana which is throbbing as life, which is the cause for all activity, that prana alone keeps on going. It never stops. In fact, if prana stops, then there is no life, correct? There is only dead body then afterwards. So even though all other organs rest, there is no rest for prana. Even when you sleep, prana is going on. That's why you wake up. Therefore, what? Prana is the Shreshtaha. Amongst all of us, these organs now understood that prana is the most exalted. And then what? And this prana, they say that never gets injured or never gets decayed, and it is never in pain, all that. Okay, na vyathate, na rishyati. Therefore, all of us should be taking this form of prana, like this they decided. Okay. So, asya eva sarve rupam asama, like this they decided. We will take the form of prana, means we'll identify ourselves as prana. That is the idea here. And therefore they took the form of this prana, they identified themselves in prana. Therefore only all these organs are called with the name prana. In fact, they can be called as prana. In fact, that usage is there in the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad itself. If you go back, the word pranaha is used to refer to all the organs in general. Okay, so it depends on the context. The word prana in certain context just means all the organs, whether it's organ of action or sense organs. but it can also mean the pancha prana we talk about, correct? Prana, apana, vyana, udana, samana also. That also it means in certain contexts. Or generally mukhya prana, when we say, it is the prana as we understand, as the one which is throbbing as life. So in this, the Bhashya also we saw up to this point. Okay. Tasmad ete vagadeyaha etena pranabidhanena akhyayante abhidhiyante pranaha iti evam. So all these organs of action, starting from speech onwards, they are all called with the name prana. Okay, because they all identify themselves as prana. Okay, so pranaha, in this manner, pranaha, like that you can call them, all of them. Okay. Further, what? Ye evam pranatmatam sarva karnanam vetti prana shabda abhideyatvam cha tenaha vava tenaiva vidusha tat kulam achakshate laukikaha. So in this manner, the one who does upasana, that prana is the atma of all the karanas, all the indriyas, okay, all the organs. Prana is the self of all the organs, and they can be called by the name prana. Like this, the one who knows here means one who does upasana like that. Now, what is the phala for that? What is the result of that upasana? By him only, or by with his name only. Okay. Tenaiva vidusha tat kulam achakshate laukikaha. So the worldly people will call his clan, okay, his kula, by his name only. That is the phala. So he will be a very exalted person in his clan. Therefore, his clan itself will be known by that person's name. So that's what Bhashyakara explains further. Yasmin kule sa vidwan jataha bhavati tat kulam vidvam namna eva prathitam bhavati. So in which kula, in which clan this vidwan, this upasaka is born, that clan will be known by his name only, famously. Okay. So amushya idam kulam iti yata tapatya iti. So here this kulam is belonging to this person, this person's kulam, like that it will be famous. And Bhashyakara is giving an example here for that. Yatha tapatya iti tapatyaha. Now tapati is the person referred to here, and there is a tadhita pratyaya is there. Those who are interested in grammar, there is a an pratyaya is there. Okay. Generally, an pratyaya can come in many meanings. Tasya apatyam also is one of the meaning. That means somebody's children. And in fact, lot of popular names have this an pratyaya. Okay. Starting with Dasharathi. Okay. Then you have Raghoho Kulam. In fact, apatyam means directly the son. That way, if you take son or daughter, children, like that, somebody's children will be named after them, correct? Then you can put this an pratyaya. For example, Anjaneya, Anjani Putraha is called Anjaneya. That is an pratyaya. But an pratyaya can come also for the Gotra or Kula also. That's why Raghava. So the one who has come in the clan of Raghu is called Raghava. Rama is called Raghava. Raghuvamsha also is there, correct? Raghuvamsha Mahakavya is there. Very interesting if you read. And here, this Anpratyaya, Tapatya. Now, Tapati, who is this Tapati? In fact, this Tapati, who is this Tapati? Our Anandagiri only is helping us. The Tikakara, he says, Surya Suta, Aditya Suta. So the daughter of Aditya, son, is called Tapati. In fact, there is an interesting story about this Tapati in Mahabharata. Okay, so this Mahabharata, in fact, Mahabharata is the story of Kauravas, correct? Kuru. The descendants of Kuru, what happened amongst them is Mahabharata. Bharata also, all of them are Bharatas also, because Bharata also is there, but particularly Kuru, Kauravas. In fact, when we studied in school time, it is wrongly said that Mahabharata is the war between Kaurava and Pandava. That is not correct really, because even Pandavas are Kauravas really. So it's actually Dhartarashtra and Pandava we have to say. Dhritarashtrasya apatyam means Dhartarashtra. So the actually even in Bhagavad Gita also Dhartarashtra Rane Ahanyuhu and all Arjuna says, I'll have to kill these Dhartarashtras. So this word Dhartarashtra is the correct usage there. It is the fight between Dhartarashtra and Pandava, Pandu's putras and Dhritarashtra's putras. Anyway, in Mahabharata there are so many stories. One of the stories about the ancestor of all these Pandavas and Dhartarashtras, correct? In fact, Kuru's father marries this Tapati. There is a story about that, in fact. So, Kuru's father was facing a lot of difficulties. In fact, in his kingdom, it seems there was a famine. Okay, there was a famine, and there was disease. So the king was Samvarana, was Kuru's father actually. So Samvarana's kingdom had famine and disease and all that. People were suffering, and at that time, in fact, the neighboring king of Panchala came for a battle. Okay, so he invaded the kingdom of the Kurus. Then what happened? He lost. In fact, he went for battle because you can't do anything else as a king when somebody is invading you. He lost the battle, then he ran away into the forest, okay, with his ministers and all that. Then he was living in the forest, and at that time, Vashishta visited him, okay. Then he talks to Vashishta, he says that you have to become my guru. With a guru like you, I can then regain everything. So Vashishta also says, okay, you are a good king. I will become your guru. And in fact, you should just sitting in this forest, it is useless. A good king like you should go back and reclaim your kingdom. You go and fight again and reclaim your kingdom. So on hearing this, Samvarana becomes very enthusiastic. He gets hope. So he in fact makes a surprise attack on the Panchalas and reclaims his kingdom also. And then one day he went for hunting. In fact, when he fights with the Panchala, it seems that Tapati notices him and she falls in love with this whoever is fighting there, correct? And later on, when he goes for hunting, he sees a deer and he goes chasing that deer. He cannot catch it, it just vanishes. Then he falls there in whatever fatigue, he becomes tired. Then he is woken up by a very beautiful woman, and Tapati is supposed to be the most beautiful, okay, that's how she is presented. Even amongst all the devas and gandharvas and all the celestials also, Tapati, the daughter of Surya, is the most beautiful woman. So this Samvarana sees this Tapati and falls in love with her instantly. And she also says, I am also in love with you, I want to marry you. But then he says, we'll have a Gandharva Vivaha immediately here. She doesn't agree. She says, you come and talk to my father and he will give. me in marriage to you and all that. And she vanishes. Then this Samvarana then does Upasana on Aditya. He is also advised by Vashishta. So he is doing Upasana, and in the meantime Vashishta goes to Aditya, and then on behalf of Samvarana he talks to Aditya. Then Aditya also agrees to marry Tapati, and they both come and then they get married, and Kuru is born later on. So Tapati is the mother of Kuru, and that's how the whole Kaurava clan is born. In fact, they are all Tapatya only, that way. So she is supposed to have done this Upasana, I think. That's why Bhashyakara is giving this as the example here. Tapatyaha iti. Okay. Evam yatoktam veda vagadinam pranarupatam pranakyattuncha tasya etat phalam. So this result is for the person who knows in this manner that Vag, etc., all the other organs also have as their self this prana only, because without prana they cannot function, and they can also be called as prana. The one who knows this and one who does upasana like this, for him this phalam will be there, that his clan will be known by his name. Further what? Further also the Upanishad says something very interesting. What is that? Kincha yaha kaschid uha evam vida pranatma darshina spardhate tat pratipakshi san saha aspinneva sharire anushusyati shosham upagachati. So this part also is now Bhashyakara commenting here. See here, yau he ha evam vida spardhate anushishyati. So here Bhashyakara says one who competes with this person by opposing him, pratipakshi san, being an opponent, one who competes with this person who is this prana upasaka, what will happen to him? He will become, his body itself will decay or dry. Anushishyati means it will dry away, because without the prana, none of the organs can really function, correct? It is like drying away, all the life goes away. Okay, so shosham upagachati, that person's sharira, body itself will shrivel, you can say. Then what? Anushushya haiva shosham gatva eva antataha ante mriyate, having shriveled, he will also die. In fact, Bhashyakara adds some more, I don't know why. He says, na sahasa anupadrataha mriyate. That means what? This person will not die suddenly or immediately, because some people die just like that, correct? And in fact, we even look upon that as something which is desirable, that somebody was active till the last moment and suddenly they pass away and all that. Okay, that is looked upon as in fact a kalyana. That is also some kind of a kalyana savu and all we say in Tamil. Even though it is a death, it is an auspicious death. Okay, those who are not really suffering in ventilators and all that, right? Nowadays that has also become very common. But this person will not die like that peacefully. Okay, this person, he will go through upadrava. Upadrava means some kind of suffering or affliction. Affliction will be there. Body will have affliction, and then only this person will die, it seems. Even his opponent will not have easy death. Okay. So ityevam uktam adhyatmam. So in this manner, whatever was said till now, it is all with reference to the body, correct? Adhyatmam. Here atma is body. Okay. With adhyatmam means with reference to the physical body. Pranatma darshanam iti ukta upasamharaha. So whatever is there in the body, all the organs, they are all to be looked upon as prana. They all have their self in the prana only. Like that, it is completed. This portion is complete here. Iti adhyatmam, like this the Upanishad says here. It is completing it, saying that whatever with reference to the body, all the organs, they have to be looked upon as prana. Pranatma means what? They all have their self in prana. Like that, it ends. Then what? Further, Adidaivata Pradashanarthaha. So whatever is going to come now is all about with reference to devatas. So whatever we have seen already is with reference to the body or individual. Now we are going to see with reference to the devata. What is there here? Atha adidaivatam ज्वलिष्यामि एव अहम् इति अग्निः दद्रे तप्स्यामि अहम् इति आदित्यः भास्यामि अहम् इति चन्द्रमा एवम् अन्या देवता यथा दैवतम्. Okay, so like the whatever spardha was there, correct, between the organs, there was a competition amongst the devas also. So with reference to the devata, now it is talking atha, thereafter what? Adhi daivatam, with reference to the devatas. So with reference to the devatas, what happened there? Agni says, I will always be burning. Okay, that's the vow. It took a vow that I will be always burning. Then Aditya also says, I will always be scorching. Tapsyami aham iti Adityaha. Bhasyami aham iti Chandrama. I will always be shining like this Chandrama. Like this, different devatas took a vow that they will do whatever is their function all the time. Okay, so yatha daivatam anyaha devataha. Okay, all the other devatas also, they took a vow that we will be doing whatever is our function all the time. Then what? Sa yatha yesham prananam madhyamaha pranaha evam etasam devatanam vayuhu. So now the same thing happened here also. Okay, all these devatas were overtaken by mrityu, but like with reference to the organs and the individual body, we saw that prana kept on going, correct? The madhyamaha pranaha, amongst all the organs. Here prananam, the word prana itself is used in two meanings. See, yesham prananam, when it says, this prananam refers to all the organs. Madhyamaha pranaha means this is the mukhya prana. So like even the mukhya prana is amongst all the organs, amongst the devatas, who is there? Vayu. Vayu is the devata. Vayu devata alone keeps on going. Mrityu cannot touch Vayu. And that is further explained here. Mlochanti hi anya devataha na Vayuhu. So mlochanti means mluch dhatu is there. Mluch dhatu normally comes with the prefix ni, nimlochanti and all it comes, okay, means to set or to sink and all this in this meaning. Sunset and all is called nimlochanam. So here the Upanishad says that all other devatas had to stop their functions, means they had to set, they cannot keep on going. Okay, mlochanti hi anya devataha, all other devatas had to stop. But what? Na Vayuhu, Vayu alone did not stop. Sa yesha anastamita devata yad Vayuhu. So Vayu alone is the anastamita devata. Means all other devatas are astamita, means what? They set. Astamanam and all we say, correct? Sunset is called Surya Astamanam. So astamita devata means they all had to stop their functions. But Vayu alone, this Vayu is the one who is anastamita, who never sets, always there. So that is it amongst the devatas, Vayu. So from this what we know, at the Adhyatma level, Prana Upasana, at the Devata, Vayu Upasana, one has to do. Okay, that is the speciality amongst the Vang, Manas and Prana. This Prana, and again amongst the Devatas also we talked about Agni and Aditya and even this Vayu. But Vayu is the Sreshta, is the most exalted. So this Bhashyakara also quickly we will see what he says. Atha anantaram adhidaivatam devata vishayam darshanam uchyate. So adhidaivatam means it is devata vishayam with reference to the devatas. Okay, whatever is there, darshanam uchyate. It is being shown, something is showing, is talked about. What is that? Kasya devata visheshasya Vratadharanam Shreyaha iti mimamsyate. So when we say Atha Adhidaivatam, here, what is with reference to devatas, what is being analyzed here means which devatas vrata is Shreyaha, is the most exalted. That is being analyzed here. Mimamsyate. Okay. Adhyatmavat sarvam. Okay. Afterwards, whatever story is there, correct? It's all similar to whatever Bhashyakara explained with reference to the Adhyatma. So he simply says Adhyatmavat sarvam. So here he doesn't give any commentary, he just gives the whatever is there here. So Jolishyami eva aham iti agnihi dadre tapasyami aham iti adityaha bhasyami aham iti chandramaha evam anya devata yatha daivatam. So this is exactly whatever is there here. Then what? Saha adhyatmam vagadinam yesham prananam madhye madhyamaha pranaha mrityuna anaptaha. So with reference to the organs in the body, like the vag, etc., prana alone is the one who was not overtaken by or who was not touched by mrityu, correct, in the form of fatigue. Similarly here what? Anaptaha swakarmanaha na pratyavitaha means anaptaha means one who is not touched by mrityu means one who did not stop his swakarma, whatever he is doing, his own function, his own activity. Svena pranavratena abhagnavratah. So pranavratena abhagnavataha means what? Then all these organs, they did vrata, like they identified themselves with prana. Then only whatever they were doing, they could continue without any break. Bhagnaha means broken. Okay. Bhagnam, bhagnaha, like that. Bhagna, the word means broken or a split and all that. Abhagnaha, abhagna vrataha means what? Whatever vow to, they could only sustain it without any break when they identified themselves with prana. Yatha means similar. Now what? Evam etasam agnyadinam devatanam vayuhu api. So in this manner, similar to the prana amongst the organs, amongst the devatas, like Agni, etc., Vayu is the devata, okay, who is Abhagnaha means what? Whose vrata is unbroken. Then what? Mlochanti, Astamyanti, Swakarmabhyaha, Uparamante. So Mlochanti means what? Bhashyakara gives meaning Astamyanti means you set or you stop whatever you are doing. Swakarmabhyaha, Uparamante. So stopping whatever one is doing or setting. That is the meaning for this Mlochanti. Yatha adhyatmam vagadeyaha anya devata agnyadyaha na vayuhu astam yati yatha madhyamaha pranaha. So similar to all the vaga etc. of the organs with reference to the body, here also these all the other devatas like Agni etc., they all had Mlochanti means what? They all stopped whatever they were doing. They could not continue, even though they had their vratam, they could not continue that. But na Vayuhu, Vayu alone is not like that. He does not set astam, na astam yati Vayuhu. Similar to the Madhyamaha Pranaha. Yatha Madhyamaha Pranaha. Therefore, what? Ataha Saisha Anastamita Devata. Therefore, this Vayu alone is called as Anastamita Devata, one who does not set. Okay. Yad Vayuhu Yo Ayam Vayuhu. So this Vayu is the one who does not set. His activity never stops. Okay. Evam Adhyatmam Adhidaivam Cha Mimamsitva Nirdharitam. So in this manner, both with reference to the organs in the body and also with reference to the devatas, it has been now analyzed and ascertained. Nirdharitam means you have ascertained. What have you ascertained? Prana vayu atmanoho vratam abhagnamiti. So the vrata, if you take with reference to prana and vayu, that alone will be unbroken, because these are the two things which are always active. So you identify with them. then your vratam will keep on going. Your vow will be unbroken. Otherwise, you will have to have fatigue, tiredness, and stop. Okay. Now, finally, this is the last one in this Brahmana. So, we are finally finishing 1.5. 1.6 is actually very small. That also we'll finish. So, I think we'll be soon finishing the first chapter. So, here, Atha Yeshaha Slokaha Bhavati, Atha Yesha Shloko Bhavati, like that we chant. So this sloka is there now with reference to whatever was discussed now. What is that sloka? Yatascha udeti suryaha astam yatracha gacchati iti. So from where the Surya rises, okay, and then wherever it sets. And where is that? Pranadva. From prana only the Surya rises. And into prana only it sets. Prana here is Vayu Devata. Okay, so pranadva yesha udeti prane astameti. So then what? All the devas then they take this as their vrata. Tam devas chakrire dharmam. So that prana dharma alone now they take it as their own vow or resolve as their vrata. And whatever they did correct then, the same thing is happening even now. Okay, Sayeva Adya. Even now, Amushmin Kale, even in the present also, their vratam is continuing, it seems. That's why everything is, the cosmos is functioning, correct? Sun rises every day. All the devatas are functioning. Without the devatas functioning, none of these worldly phenomenon, as we know, we cannot even study them properly because there is a certain science itself is possible because there is an order, correct? If there is no order, what will you study then? If today the gravitational force we say there is a certain acceleration 9.8 and all that, correct? We have a number. In fact, we have so many constants in science, starting from Planck's constant and all that. Okay. Now, what are the scientists saying? Even if one of that constant is slightly changed, let us say, what will happen? Then they say that the whole Srishti will not be in this manner. Okay, whatever Srishti we are encountering is dependent on some decimal places of some constant. Understand that. So that is the order which is there, correct? We are saying that order itself is dharma really, and Ishvara is manifest in that order. And who is maintaining all this order? So when we see each of these things, each of these phenomena only, we are looking at as devatas. So devatas are the ones who are maintaining this order. Their function alone is maintaining the order. Otherwise, we will not be having this world as we know. Neither we can study. If everything is chaos, then there won't be any laws also. Understand that. So here, all these things are going on even today. It will go on tomorrow also, it says. Okay. So don't worry about tomorrow. Saushvaha iti. So like it is happening today, it will also happen tomorrow. So that is explained further. Yadva yete amurhi, amuhu. Amurhi means to right now. Amushmin. Adhriyanta. Tadeva api adya kurvanti. So whatever is happening now, that will keep on happening. Okay, whatever is happening now only, it will keep on happening tomorrow also, later on also. Therefore, what? So all these things are possible because these devatas have taken the vrata of identifying with the prana and vayu. Okay, the organs are identifying with prana, devatas are identifying with vayu. So the devatas are doing this vrata continuously. Similarly, who are a jiva, an individual also has to do. And this one vratam is good enough, the Upanishad says. So Upanishad says what? Tasmad ekameva vratam chare. So even like the devatas are doing their vrata, you also do only this one vrata. You take up this one vrata and follow that. What is that? Pranyacha, apanyacha. So that you do upasana aspect of yourself. I am alive. I am breathing. So prana, the function of prana, you focus on. Also function of apana. Apana means excretion and all that, whatever which goes out. So the breathing in is prana, whatever goes out is all apana. So this prana and apana, you focus on that activity. That is what is important. All others are dependent on that. Now, if you don't do that, what will happen? Net ma, nen ma means net is the word here. In English, we can translate this net as lest. Okay, there is a word called lest in English. It's an interesting word, correct? Lest. In fact, exactly the same meaning Bhashyakara gives in Sanskritam also. He says, net shabdaha paribhaye. You can see here. So this lest in English means you have a fear that something will happen if this is not done. Correct? So when you put that something which will happen as the one clause, then you connect it with if you don't do something or you are doing something lest this will happen means what? You are doing something, but if you don't do that, your fear is that whatever is there in the other class will happen. Okay, so that's what. So if you do, so you do this lest what? Ma papma mrityuhu apnuya apnuvat. If you don't do that, mrityu will overtake you, fatigue will overtake you, tiredness and death also finally. Okay. Therefore, keep doing this. In fact, Upanishad also further says something very interesting. It says, okay, yadi u charet sama pipayishet, it says. So if you take this vrata, then complete it. Okay. So if you don't complete it, what then? Bhashyakara only says if you take a vrata like this and don't follow it up and complete it, or if you don't even have the desire to complete it, really samapipa ishet means it is san pratyaya here. The same pratyaya we use like mumuksha, jignasa and all, correct? Samapipa ishet, san pratyaya means the desire to do something. In that meaning that suffix is coming, san suffix. Okay, samapaya, samapayati and all you can say means completing something, but here the desire to complete has to be there. Once you take this vrata, have the desire to complete it. Otherwise, what? It will be like humiliating the devatas. It will be humiliating the Vayu devata, Prana devata, like that. So, complete it. Have a desire to complete whatever vrata you take. Then, if you complete, what will happen? Tena u, teno is there. It is actually tena u. U is a particle. Etasyai devatayai sayujyam salokatam jayati. So if you take up this vrata and complete, then you get sayujyam with the devata, you become one with the devata. Or you can go to the same loka as that devata. There also Bhashyakara says, if some omissions and commissions are there, then you will not get sayujya. Then what? You can only get salokyam. You can only go to the same loka and be with the devata, but you won't become one with that devata. So that is what is said here. So from this, what we understand is this whole from the 1.4.10 onwards, the Avidya Sutra started, correct? And for the Avidwan, for the one who is ignorant, this karma and upasana was prescribed, or that is basically it is for them only. Those who are ignorant only, for them only karma and upasana are there. The karma itself is dependent on 5 factors, panktam, it is said. Now, this particular Brahmana, up to panktam was there in the 4th Brahmana itself. This pankta karma and the upasana, what are their phala? if you see, again this Saptannam, 7 annas were talked about. Again, amongst these 7 annas, 4 annas are looked upon as Sadhya Anna, because they further help you to gain something. Sadhana Anna. They are the means. They help you to gain the Sadhya, which is something you want to attain. And what are the Sadhya? Your own Vak, Prana and Manas. Vak, Manas and Prana are the Sadhya Anna. And the other Annas which we saw before, the 4 Annas are there. Those are all like Vittam, Putra, etc. They are Sadhana Anna. And after discussing these 7 annas, the last 3 alone was elaborately discussed, okay, with reference to the individual and also with reference to the devatas. And then even amongst that, the prana upasana has now been finally said as the most utkrishta amongst that. Okay, for the ajnani, the highest phala they can get by doing this prana upasana, and you can attain the Prajapati Pada itself. That is the highest which you can attain. But all this is only for Ajnani. Okay, so here it clearly said that Putrena Ayam Lokaha, Karmana Pitrulokaha, Vidyaya Devaloka. So those are the only 3 phala which has been said for karma and upasana. This is a very important thing because Bhashyakara Shankara holds on to this everywhere, because his main opponents are either Purva Mimamsaka, who are like saying that karma alone will give you moksha, or others like Vishishtadvaitin, who talk about Jnana Karma Samuchaya. Because everybody other than Advaitin, they all have to take all this Mahavakya as only upasana, correct? They all take it as Ahangraha upasana. You do upasana that Aham Brahmasmi. So Aham Brahmasmi is not jnana for them. It is only a vidya or upasana. But Bhashyakara takes pain to show that the phalam which is said for Aham Brahmasmi is not the same as Ayam Loka or Pitruloka or Devaloka, correct? If the result of Aham Brahmasmi is different, it cannot be an upasana. Is that clear? That is one of the important arguments which Shankara is placing. Everywhere he talks about that, correct? Because based on the phalam only, you can say whether it is upasana or it is jnana. And jnana phalam alone it can be, because the limitless cannot be achieved as a karma phala. And all karma phala will come to an end. That also is said here. In one of the vakyas we saw that if the jiva who is the pita stops doing his own karma and upasana, everything will come to a stop. But the jiva can never stop, okay? Nobody can stop. Everybody has to do some karma or the other, at least for keeping up this body, correct? That means all the time we are creating more and more karma. The only way to get out of this is jnanam. Otherwise, karma can never be stopped. It is only a shift in your vision about yourself, that I am not even a karta bhokta. That alone can really free you from all karma. Otherwise, there is no freedom. You are stuck with karma and karma phala. And it's a vicious cycle. It will keep on going. It is a self-propelling cycle, because the karma phala itself, which are the saptanna, will force you to do more karma. More karma, more karma. So it is a self-propelling. It is against your second law of thermodynamics, you can say. Okay, it is like a self-propelling mechanism, keeps on going. Anyway, so what Bhashyakara says, we'll see here. अथ एतस्य एव अर्थस्य प्रकाशकः एष श्लोकः मन्त्रः भवति. So this atha esha shlokaha bhavati. So in this whatever was said here in the previous 2 vakyas, to explain the meaning of that only, to throw light on that, this shloka is there, this mantra. It's a quotation actually. And what is the mantra? Yatascha udeti suryaha astam yatra cha gacchati iti. So yatascha yasmad vayoho. So here yataha means from what, from which, means from the vayu. Udeti udgachati suryaha. So the surya rises from which vayu, and also into that only what adhyatmancha. Okay, now Bhashyakara not only talks about the Surya Devata, he is also talking about the organs in the body. He says, with reference to body, organs like eyes also rise from prana. Like Aditya is rising from Vayu, organs like eye, speech, etc., walk, they all rise from the prana. So Adhyatmancha Chakshuratmana, Chakshuhu Atmana Prana. Because here Aditya is talked about, Bhashyakara is talking about Chakshuhu, which is the corresponding organ at the when we talk about the body. Okay. So Chakshu rises from prana and Aditya rises from Vayu. And similarly, what? Astancha yatra Vayu pranecha gachati. And again, when they set, when they resolve, they go back to the Aditya, goes back to the prana, and eyes go into the, sorry, Aditya goes into the Vayu and eyes go into the prana. Okay, that he says apara sandhya samaye swapa samaye. So when, so the Aditya in the evening, okay, apara sandhya samaye, and the eyes when you sleep, it is resolved, the indriya is resolved into your prana. Prana alone is functioning even during deep sleep. So swapa samayecha purushasya. So when the person sleeps, the eyes set into the prana, and in the evening the sun sets into the Vayu Devata. So tam devaha tam dharmam devaha chakrire. So devaha tam dharmam chakrire. So explaining this tam devas chakrire dharmam means, tam means what? Tam dharmam, you have to connect like that. So that dharma, the devas, they took a vow that they will keep up that dharma. Okay, chakrire means dhritavantaha, means they will keep up the dharma of this Vayu Devata. That is their vow now. Okay, Vagadayaha Agnyadayascha Pranavratam Vayuvratam cha Pura Vicharya. So when they say they kept up this vrata, means with reference to the body, speech, etc., organs have this pranavrata, and with reference to the devatas, Agni, etc., devatas have this Vayu vratam. Okay, so they kept this vrata when Pura Vicharya, long back, after analyzing, correct? We saw the story already in the previous two Vakyas. So having done this Mimamsa analysis, they have now taken up this vow. They are not taking a vow that I will do my action, but I will now piggyback on the prana. Prana's activity I will keep on doing, then only I can survive. Okay, so they have done that. Now what? Sayeva adya idanim shvaha api bhavishyati. So that is what is still happening. Sayeva adya idanim. Adya means idanim, right now. Shvaha api means tomorrow. Bhavishyati api, it will happen. Kale anuvartyate anuvartishyate cha. So in time, it keeps on coming down. Okay, it is continuing. Anuvartyate means continuing, and it will continue. Anuvartishyate means it will continue in future. So who is continuing that? Devaihi. By the devas it will be continued. Okay, iti abhiprayaha. So that is the abhipraya. So whatever is there, that same thing is there even today, and it will continue. Then what? Tatra imam mantram sankshepatāha vyachaste brahmanam. So now this dharma is described in a very brief manner. Sankshepatāha means in a summary manner or brief manner. It is being described now by the Brahmana. So up to this, it is all. This is all. The two itis are there, correct? First one iti is, it is quoting this mantra only. So So astameti, sorry, pranadva udeti, prana astameti. Okay, it is only one mantra. Up to this iti is the mantra, is the quotation. Okay. Yatascha udeti, Surya. Okay, gachati iti. There is one iti here, another iti here. Two itis are there. I am correct. Then the same thing is now explained briefly by the Brahmana. This portion now Brahmana is explaining. What is it saying? Yadva ete amurhi adhriyanta tadeva api adya kurvanti. So it is explaining the same thing. It is giving explanation. Bhashyakara says, Pranadva yesha suryaha udeti prana astameti. So whatever was said about this prana, that is being now explained by the Brahmana. So tam devans chakrire dharmam sayeva adya saushva ityasya ko arthaha iti uchyate. So it said all these things are there in the original here. Okay, pranayastameti tam devans chakrire. So for that, what is the meaning? That is given here. Okay, this is the meaning or the explanation given for the previous mantra. What is that? Yadvai ete vratam amurhi amushmin kale vagadayah agnyadayascha pranavratam vayuvratancha adhriyanta. So whatever is the vrata, even now, amurhi means amushmin kale, means right now, present times, you can say. Amushmin kale means present times. So whatever is there, this vratam which is still being held on, okay, by this Vag, etc., Indriyas and Agni, etc., Devas, which is the Pranavratam and Vayuvratam. Tadeva Adhyapi Kurvanti Anuvartante. So whatever is, they are doing it still. Correct? Today also it is being done. And Anuvartishyante, they will continue that Vrata. Vratam Tayoho Abhagnameva. So their Vrata is unbroken. It will continue. Okay. Then what? Yattu Vagadi Vratam Agnyadi Vratancha Tad Bhagnameva Tesham Astamaya Kale Swapa Kale Cha Vayo Prane Cha Nimluktihi Darshanat. So the individual vratas which were taken by the organs and the devatas, that they will keep on doing their own function, that is bhagnam, that is broken, correct? That they cannot continue. So yattu vagadi vratam agnyadi vratam. So instead of prana vratam and vayu vratam, whatever vrata they took, that they will do their own function, tad bhagnam eva, means that is broken. And those functions, whatever are activities they were doing, they had to stop. Astamaya kale, swapa kale, because Aditya also sets. The person also goes to sleep. At that time, what? They all set, or they all resolve into Vayu and Prana. So that Nimlukti Darshana is shown. Okay. So that is what is there here. That Nimlukti is there later on, it will be shown. So here, in fact, the Nimlukti was shown here, sorry, in the previous one, Vayum Blochanti, correct? So that's what Bhashyakara is talking about. Darshanath, he says, because it is already talked about. They all resolve. Okay, then what? Atha etad anyatra uktam. This same thing has been said somewhere else in the Shatapatha Brahmana. So the Shatapatha Brahmana is the Brahmana of the Shukla Yajurveda. And even this Brihadaranyaka Upanishad itself is a part of the Shatapatha Brahmana only. So many times Bhashyakara quotes from the Shatapatha Brahmana to make a point that this is already being said there. Okay, so what does the Shatapatha Brahmana say here? Yadavai Purushaha Swapiti. So when the Purusha person sleeps, Pranam Tarhi Vag Apyeti. So the Vag gains Prana, it seems, or Vag resolves into Prana. Similarly, what? Pranam Manaha. Manas also resolves into Prana. Chakshuhu Pranam. Eyes also resolve into Prana. Shrotram. So Pranam Shrotram, even ears also resolve, means all other organs, all the organs which were active during the waking state, they all resolve into prana. Prana alone is functioning in sleep. And then what? Yada prabudhyate, and when you wake up, what? Prana deva adhi punarjayanta. From the prana only, all of them again come back into life. Okay, they are reanimated, you can say. So iti adhyatmam. So this is with reference to the individual body. Then what? Atha adidaivatam. Then thereafter with reference to the devatas. What is that? Yada va agnihi anugachati vayum tarhi anudvati tasmad yenam udvasid iti ahuhu vayum hi anudvati यद आदित्यः अस्तमेति वायुं तर्हि प्रविशति वायुं चंद्रमा वायो दिशः प्रतिष्ठा वायोः एव अधि पुनर्जायन्ते. So similarly here the fire, okay, fire starts from vayu only, okay, and it goes back into vayu when it is put off, okay. So this fire is from the vayu. First it talks about agnihi anugachati vayu. So agni goes along with vayu, and then it is also what? Tasmad yenam udavasi dityahuhu vayum hi anudvati. So it is always agni is along with vayu, okay, and it is from the vayu, and even if you put it off, it goes back into vayu. Similarly aditya also, okay, yad adityaha astameti vayum tarhi pravishati. So it enters the vayu only. Aditya also when it sets, it enters the vayu. Agni also when it is put off, it enters vayu. And then what? Chandrama also similarly, the moon also, and dishaha, all the quarters, directions also same. They are all from vayu only, and then they are born again from the vayu. So it is something like Big Bang and Big Crunch, I think. I don't know. Maybe some physicists and all, they can look into this. But vayu is the main thing, is what the Upanishad is saying. Everything is coming from vayu, and they all go back into the vayu. At a cosmic level, vayu devata is the main devata. Like in the body level, prana is the main thing. Okay. So yasmat etadeva vratam vagadishu agnyadishu cha anugatam yad etad vayoscha pranasya cha परिस्पंदात्मकत्वं सर्वैः देवैः अनुवर्त्यमानं व्रतं तस्मात् अन्यः अपि एकमेव व्रतं चरेत्. So because this vratam, this prana vratam and vayu vratam only is being taken up by the vag and vag etc. organs and agni etc. devatas, and that alone is being continued even today, correct? And so what is that vratam? That the main activity which they will always do is parispandatmakatvam, means what? They are always throbbing with life. That is the most important thing. Whether they do their activity or not, they have to be alive first. So their vratam is to be alive. Then only their function comes up. Okay. So they are continuing this vratam of being alive, being throbbing with life. Okay. And it is continuing even today by all the devatas. First, everybody has to be alive, then only they do their function. Similarly, you also have to take this only one vrata. Okay, tasmad anyaha, all others also api ekameva vratam charet. You all take up only one vrata. What is that? Kim tate pranyat pranana vyaparam. So first I have to be alive. That itself should be a vow. So pranana vyaparam kuryat apanyat apanana vyaparancha. So prana and apana, you have to take in your breath and leave out the breath also. Otherwise nothing can be there. So first vrata is to be alive, then only anything else is possible. So your vrata also should be that one vrata only. Okay. Nahi prana apana vyaparasya pranana apanana lakshanasya uparamaha asti. That's what. So as long as you are there, correct, there is no stop for this prana and apana vyapara, because even while sleeping you are breathing in and breathing out, correct. Without that the body will become dead body, in fact. So there is no stop or uparama for this activity. Therefore, focus on that itself as the vrata. First, you have to be alive. That is the vrata. Therefore, what? Tasmat tadeva ekam vratam chare. So therefore, take that itself as a vrata. Okay. Hitva indriyantara vyaparam, and give up all other indriyantara vyapara. Focus only on this. Okay. That is why I think this pranayama and all also is useful, correct? When you have even prana vikshanam or pranayama, if you focus on that, all your other activities you can easily give up, correct. Normally breathing is involuntary, but if you make it voluntary and focus on that, then it helps you to focus your mind and you even to get away from all other sensory stimuli and all that, okay, which is important for Vedanta sadhaka. So anyway, so the rest of the things we'll see next week. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.
ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು.